Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So Axel was a character that was introduced in episode 1 of season 3 along with the other prison inmates. There was like a group of 5-6 prison inmates when Rick and his group went to the prison at the beginning of season 3, and he was the one out of all of them that lasted the longest. But he still only made it to episode 10 of season 3. So there's these like 5-6 prisoners, and they all died by episode 10 of their first season, which I thought was kind of ridiculous, especially since half of them weren't even that bad. I think there was a couple of them that were really bad, and then like they died. And then there was Oscar and Axel, and they were pretty cool. And then Oscar died in episode 8. Then Axel died in episode 10, and it was just weird because it was like they made this big deal out of these prisoners, and Rick trying to figure out what to do with them because he was trying to keep his people safe. Some of them weren't even in prison for really bad reasons. I think Axel like robbed a bank, and that was why he was there. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. He wasn't really any worse than Daryl. But Rick was wanting to kill him and was contemplating it, or kill them, or kick them out. But they didn't have any experience with walkers, so if you kick them out of their home, they're just gonna die out in the wilderness. So should give them a chance to join their community. And T-Dog was like, no, we should give them a chance. And it was this whole big, complicated moral dilemma thing. And then finally, in the episode Killer Within, Rick and everyone, they accept Oscar and Axel as their own. They accept them, and they join their group. And then in episode 8, like I said, Oscar dies. Episode 10, Axel dies. It's like you spent several episodes having this whole dramatic thing about whether or not they would be accepted as a part of the group or not, or they'd be kicked out. And then they get accepted, and they just get killed anyway. I mean, between Oscar and Axel, at least one of them should have made it to season 4. At least one of them, because it just kind of seems like it was a waste. Like, why give these prisoners this big dramatic introduction if you're just going to kill them all off really quickly? It just seemed kind of stupid. And season 3 was a season that had a lot of problems. It had a lot of flaws. Most fans agree that season 3 is probably one of the weaker seasons of the show. For me, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, but it definitely has some problems, a lot of problems. And one of those problems is Glenn Mazzara, who I believe was like the head writer, head showrunner back in season 3, and he was pretty much let go or resigned or whatever after season 3, and he was replaced by Scott Gimple. And there was some behind the scenes stuff we don't even really know about it, but he killed off way too many characters. In season 3, he T-Dog, Merle, Andrea, Milton, Oscar, Axel. There's like other characters. He just killed off way too many characters, and it was just a bloodbath of a season. Just underdeveloped characters getting killed, and the writing not being too good, the whole thing with Rick and the ghosts, and that just wasn't that good. Season 3 was just kind of a mess, and you can tell that they basically got rid of Glenn Mazzara after season 3 because he just wasn't doing it right. And Scott Gimple fixed the show pretty much with season 4. Everyone fell in love with the show again after season 4. I'm not trying to get off track here, but I think Axel and Oscar dying so quickly was just sort of a part of the fallout of Glenn Mazzara just doing so much killing off of characters and killing so many characters, and the writing not being good. And I mean, a better writer would be like, we've got these several episodes building up these prisoners and Rick's group struggling to accept them. We should have at least one of them make it to like a couple of, next season, like make them last a couple of seasons, not just kill them off instantly. But because they just weren't handled by a very capable writer, they just got killed off really quickly, which kind of seems like it just makes it seem like the whole story arc of the prisoners was just a waste of time, and it was for nothing. Now with Axel, I really liked him. He was a pretty cool character. It really would have been cool for him to make it to season 4. He is definitely a he should have lived longer. He's on that list. He's on that list. He should have lived longer. He's in my should have lived longer pile because he just should have. I mean, he should have made it to season 4. Like if they killed off Axel and kept Oscar, okay, fine, but they killed off Oscar in episode 8, you know, so then they just kill Axel 2 episodes later. He just gets shot by the governor in some battle. I think his dead corpse shields Carol from bullets. Like that's his contribution. He technically kind of saves Carol's life after dying, but I mean, who cares? They shouldn't have done that in the first place. The writer shouldn't have done that in the first place, and it's just dumb how they killed him off. They were just wanting to kill characters, so they were like, oh, let's just have Axel get shot in the face by the governor. We need to kill someone. Let's just give him a random death. It just wasn't really good writing. And I'm not saying that every character has to die a super dramatic death. I like the idea of a character that we kind of know and connect to just getting killed just getting shot through the head by a stray bullet. I like that as a concept, but Axel was a character that was underdeveloped. His death just seemed forced and tacked on and kind of a waste of potential and just overall unnecessary. And he was funny. He was an interesting character that I would have definitely liked to have gotten to know more and spend more time with. In the comics, he lives like 40 issues. He lives a chunk of the comics. If they had followed the comics, he definitely would have lived 2, if not 3 seasons, because he lived a while. And he was funny there. They had the comic material. They just tossed it out the window, and I don't know why. It just seems like Glenn Mazzara just didn't know what he was doing, like, at all. And Axel had some really funny moments where he's trying to find out how old Beth is, and everyone's like, get away from her. And then he has a funny moment with Carol because he's attracted to Carol, but he doesn't even try to get with her. And he explains that he just assumed that she was a lesbian because she has short hair, and she's like, that doesn't make me a lesbian. And he's just like, he's so innocent about it. He's like, oh, well, I thought if you had short hair, you're a lesbian. And she's like, no, I'm not a lesbian. And he goes, oh, that's interesting. like he's trying to get with her. And she was actually starting to like him right before he got shot through the head. That's why they have that whole scene, because he's starting to impress Carol. Carol's starting to like him a little bit and think he's funny. Says, "Oh, tragic irony. That's right when he dies." It was just lame. It was just tacked on. It was just a tacked on death. They totally could have developed Axel and Carol and like have. I mean, Carol didn't have much to do in season 3 anyway. They totally could have developed them as a couple, and then kill them off in season 4. Maybe during the prison battle, or you know what? Even if he could have been a good death for the flu. That was the whole thing about the flu. Was like the flu was killing so many characters, but no one that we cared about. I mean, Karen and the doctor that was with Herschel, and what was his name? Patrick, the guy with glasses that was friends with Carl. That's it. You know, the flu killed like 40 people, but it didn't kill anyone that we cared about. It didn't kill anyone with a name, really. Like a few named characters, and that was it. It was mostly just background extras. That would have been good for Axel. That way we could have gotten Axel all the way up in season 4, episode 3, maybe season 4, episode 4, because I think the flu they didn't have the medicine until like episode 5. So they could have killed him in episode 3, episode 4 of season 4. That would have been a chunk better. That would have been twice as long as he lived, because he died in episode 10 of the 3rd season. So, yeah, that would have been a chunk, more of the character. That would have been an improvement. Better than just giving him a tacked on death in season 3, which just didn't work. It was just stupid, and he definitely should have lived longer. The actor did a terrific job. Overall, he was a pretty cool character, and they shouldn't have killed him off. They shouldn't have killed him off as early as they did. The whole prisoner thing just seemed wasted, and it just seemed lame. So, yeah, he should have made it to Season 4. You could have killed him off in Season 4. You could have killed him off in the first half of Season 4, and I would have been good with that, but killing him off in Season 3 was, like, as early as they did it, and just the way they did it, it was just a waste, and it was just kind of a joke. So, yeah, they definitely made a mistake when they killed Axel off. They should have had him live longer and develop the character more. Possibly develop a romance with Carol more. That could have been cool. So yeah, that was definitely a mistake. He definitely should have lived longer. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 721 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 800 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 800. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.